It's the Rumor Report. We're talking Austin Patten. Breakfast Club, good morning. The gossip. The Rumor Report with Angela Lee and H3. Is it Angela Yee or Angela Lee? That's not here or there. Do you know that H+III+T to put that dang on time? Welcome to another edition of Lap or Trap. Lap is good, trap is bad. You guys know how this day on foolishness goes. Before this starts, let me let you know that I am the world heavyweight champion of YouTube, and Saki and El Phoenix can do absolutely nothing about that. But as a basket of neither here nor there, I am also one of the most intense Jeff Hardy fans on the internet, and I am also the proud ruler of not only Los Bueno and SeverTheBond, but the Long Sock Gang. Am I wearing long socks right now? No. But we are here to talk about dang on Austin Patten After Dark. Now this is the follow-up to Inside the Dark. I don't know if there's like a whole dark thing going on right here, I'm not sure. Maybe he's like planning a really aggressive tan for this summer, and we just need to be ready for some Samuel L. Jackson type stuff or some Wesley Snipes type darkness that we're going to be prepared for. But that's neither here nor there. All puns aside, y'all, you know how this dang on goes. I got the oh good, he just sent me a text message of the dang on cover, so I don't have to rip it off Twitter. But that's not here or there. I go track by track. I just tell you, well, not track by track, but I just tell you my general thoughts on it, and I let you guys dang on rate it. So let's go into the dang on foolishness. Let me start out with the lines that I took off of here, because with every Austin Patten project, the more experience he gets as far as writing, I feel like there's always one-liners I can get off of that. I kind of treat them like Wayne. So here are the one-liners I took off this one. Last one was like, what I want them to write on my tombstone, I don't know. That was my favorite one. We actually got two this time, so let's start with that right here. We got, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So let's say we got your basic generic grandfather clock, right? And your average middle class family. The grandfather clock's been there for the longest time. It doesn't cuckoo. It doesn't go ding dong anymore. It's just kind of there. And it always says 2:30. Or that one classroom you're in with that one teacher who's too lazy to change the batteries or rewind the clock, and it always says 2:30. When you clearly know it's not even lunchtime yet. And it says 2:30. When it's actually 2:30, either in the AM or the PM, the clock is technically right. So this man said, even a clock is right twice a day. That might not blow you away, but in the context of the song, I was like, wow, that takes some serious thought, and I thought that was pretty dang on cool. Another line is, insults are like bullets, I'm just learning to duck. Guys, that's like Wayne level, not like puns, but just something that like you gotta like really sit down and think. I review a lot of underground, well not a lot, but I've reviewed my fair share of underground artists, and since summertime is coming up, you know there's going to be a plethora of them in the comments. Can you review my album? Can you review my mixtape? And then you'll never make a mixtape again, but that's neither here nor there, shots fired. But so, and I've heard a lot of different rhyme styles, and I've heard a lot of lines dropped here and there. Austin Patten always has those gems you gotta wait for, so I will review everything he ever puts out, because it's always worth it in the end, but that's neither here nor there. We start out with the first track, The Calm Before the Storm. It's got a nice catchy hook. I remember this was one of the singles. A lot of the singles are in the beginning of the album. It's not really spread out. I'm not really sure the reasoning for that. Maybe it's just like, okay, so here's the like radio friendly stuff. Let's get into the actual meat or the nitty gritty. No, Nacho Libre. I'm not really sure, but a lot of the singles are in the beginning. So we've already heard The Calm Before the Storm, but I still like the hook. Still think it's catchier more than a little bit. We gotta wait till like the end of the song to hear the hook twice. I was kind of hoping we could hear it a little bit more, but I don't know. The second half of the song, Luxury, as far as the flow goes, is insane. The beat on Luxury is really freaking cool too, but that's neither here nor there. The song Never. I say a lot in my reviews. It's not a issue I have, like as far as like, oh, I hate it when he does this. It's like just sort of a common theme that can get kind of repetitive. There's a lot of his songs have that low, like not like Tyga monotone, but like that like new Drake monotone voice where it's like, and it matches his style, so I don't mind, but it's just the case a lot. On the song Never, the octave of his voice actually changes and goes pretty dang on high, and I like that because you're switching it up, and as far as the growth of you of an artist, it's cool that, you know, you can get out of your comfort zone and give us something that's a little bit different. Whereas with Wayne, let's say the first time that he used that really lazy flow, the flow that he used on I'm On One, which now he uses with everything, he just puts auto-tune on it. The first time we heard it on Hustle Hard Remix, it was like, wow, that's really cool, because he didn't do it often. Now he does it all the time. So it's like, it's just a change in what's the norm with Austin Patton, and I found that really cool, which is why I like that song. Okay, here comes the difficult part. I gotta figure out how to word this. Okay, so the song Maroon. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, now what kind of maroon are we talking about? Are we talking about you idiot maroon? Are we talking about the color maroon? Or are we talking about marooned on an island? And how the song started, I thought we were talking about it was a storyline, and it was like a Wilson thing, and like Tom Hanks was on an island with a beach ball, and I was like, is that what we're going for here? But when you listen a little bit more, you kinda, and again, this is gonna be difficult for me to word, I gotta do it politically correctly, but I'm going to assume it's about his late grandfather, I think, because he mentioned at one point, like, it was his grandfather's, like, rocking chair or something like that, and his grandfather's rocking chair was maroon. And I think that alone, that one brief bit of lyrical content right there is enough to justify why the song is called Maroon. Sometimes people just call things random titles and it doesn't really make any sense whatsoever, and shut up! I don't do that! But I like that there was a legitimate reason for that. It's a real deep reason, and I appreciate that song a lot. Not only from the beat itself, and the switch-up is really cool, which is more like a break than a switch-up, but I just like that Austin was, look at me calling him Austin and not AMP. I'm on a first-name basis. But I just think it's really cool that something so personal you are willing to put in the forefront, pretty much, because this isn't like the end of the album. This is like maybe like the middle, so that's pretty real of you to put that on there. I hope I worded that correctly. My bad if I didn't, bro. The song "Who Are You?" I like the fact that, and this is weird because with his mixtapes and a lot of you guys' mixtapes, when you ask me to review, I assume a lot of you guys don't make your own instrumentals, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not like down anybody for that. But it's like sometimes I want to comment on the instrumentals, but I can't because it's like, well, you didn't do that, so do I incorporate that into the review? I don't know. But I think as far as the mixing goes, I think this is where you took some liberties on your own. And the song "Who Are You?", which was a pretty good song. I could actually hear that being played on the radio. But this song, there's like this little dial tone in the chorus, but it's not just like randomly buzzing. It's like it's on beat. He like said dabba 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 or something like that. And I think that's pretty cool that, like you said, okay, well, how can we incorporate this more than just having the little lady at the beginning saying the number you have called? So I thought that was really freaking cool. Again, I don't know that many underground rappers or artists, period, who would even think to add that. And I'm pretty sure you did that and not the guy who made the beat. So that was pretty freaking cool. And also the song, as far as lyrically, is pretty cool. I think we can all relate to it. It's a pretty cool song, self-explanatory if you've already heard it. Last thing I want to say is the song "Well." The song "Well" is probably, as far as everything coming together on some Megazord type stuff, like, you know, you got the Pink Ranger, that's the left leg, and the Yellow Ranger, and it just comes back and makes like Zordon or something like that. Every element comes together to make it a really good song, and as a whole, I can say I'd like to hear more songs like this. Not because it's like kind of a trappy beat, and you're using kind of like a trappy flow on it, but because just the beat matches your voice. And personally, I just feel like sometimes you choose instrumentals that are really airy, but I don't feel like you have an airy voice, and I feel like it's a little bit of a contrast. It's a good contrast, but it was just interesting to hear you on a song where I felt like your voice matched the instrumental and it wasn't purposefully clashing, because I know you have this edgy brand and this edgy vibe, and that's what you want to get. That's like the tone you want to get across in your songs, and I totally feel that. But on this particular song, everything clicked. It wasn't contrasting. Is that the right contrasting? You know what I'm trying to say. It wasn't it's like the puzzle pieces just latched together. Scratched the crap out of myself. Boom, locked together, and everything just sounded really on point like a pencil. your voice matched the beat. The flow really, really went well with that particular tempo. It wasn't just the jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. It was like you were rapping along, not so much over it, but rapping along with the beat. And a lot of artists don't do that, period, regardless of the genre. So that's what really came out to me. It felt like that song would be on an album, personally. I feel like that should be sold for money. Pretty much the tracks that I mentioned are the ones that I liked a lot. Let me know what you thought of this Dang On album. SeverTheBond will always support Dang On Austin Patten AMP because he's just a freaking beast like that. Like, comment, subscribe, H+III+T. The link to his mixtape is in the description. Go ahead, check it out. And yet again, in case you forgot, I am the World Heavyweight Champion of YouTube. El Phoenix and Saki the Sock Puppet can do nothing about it. And see you guys later.